bienvenue, hello and welcome to another video. Today we have another German book. We have a book by a man named Otto Julius Bierbaum. Now there's a name for you. Before we start, if you want to remember, there is our shop. If you want to support us, you can come across to our shop. If you are interested, you can also come across and have a look at our Redbubble shop. Over 100 designs there, so plenty of things to look at and have a investigate. There's writing services and books on our shop, and also some pretty designs on the Redbubble store. Also, please like, subscribe, comment, share the video. It all helps. So now that I have got that out of the way, our book, which is called Samalio Pardulus, and this is a little book, very little book. It is a German book. It was published in 1908. So it is a very, very early 20th century novel. Not really a novel. It's a long short story, a novella if you like. Not really a novel. I read it in more or less one sitting. I think I read it in two sittings. I was tired last night. So I read it in, you could read it in one sitting. So what is this little book? Well, it has pictures in. So that is fun. It's a picture book for adults. Not quite a picture book, but it does have pictures in. It is a story of Samalio Pardulus, the titular character, who is an artist in a castle as a mountain city in Albania. And this whole story is told not by the titular character, but by a servant of the household, an Italian. This titular character comes from a very aristocratic family in Albania that is on the verge of all dying out. It is an old world that is disappearing. And it is told through the journals or through reports, a journal of this Florentine tutor who has been brought into the family. It also has the framing device of the editor, who is rearranging and putting the narrative into order and filling in the gaps that do not exist within the narrative of the Italian man. Giacomo. It's called Giacomo. So Salamilo is a painter, and he was taught to paint by Giacomo. He lives alone in his castle with only a half-blind servant, or nearly completely blind servant, and he paints what Giacomo called his ungodly pictures, his horrifying, monstrous pictures. And whenever Giacomo visits him, he debates him on the nature of God, which makes you sort of think, oh no, is this going to be all theological? Am I being tricked into reading something really boring? But no, don't worry, it's not. He debates him on the nature of God, which he sees as a grotesquerie, and he deploy his concept of God as a grotesque through his paintings, which scandalized Giacomo so much. He is so scandalized. Mais you get the sense that the scandalizing, this part of the book is sort of, it is there because this is what we are expecting. And so because we are expecting this, he's telling us this story, but then he tells another story, and that is where it gets interesting. So having told the painter man about the ungodly monster in the castle in the mountains, or in the forest, we then hear about his sister who is going to be married. His sister is alone in the castle. Their parents have gone off to visit with her fiance in Italy, and all of a sudden a ghost is coming into the city. A ghost is coming into the city, and only the watchman has ever seen him, and he puts out these terrible reports of this terrifying apparition that has been coming into the Pardulus home, the town castle. So the tutor visits with the sister, and he is so concerned by the sister and the way that she behaves. Although she tells him, do not do this, he goes and writes to her parents. And then I will not spoil it. Because although this is a 1908 book, this is the first English translation of this. This is the first time this book has been readable outside of being able to speak German. So I will not spoil the ending. But what I will say is that it is a good ending. It is a good ending. Sort of. It is a horror story, but sort of like the Wicker Man is a horror story. One that isn't horribly violent, but it is unsettling and creepy. So that is what I will tell you about the narrative. I will not give you spoiler because it is not something that has had a chance for lots of people to read. I do not care when it is something that you can look it up yourself. I don't care. We all know Dracula died at the end of Dracula, because it is a very old book. This one is a very old book, but it has not been translated. So I will let you read. This is a Gothic novella. It is a Gothic story, and it sits at a very interesting position in German writing, parce it is at the very end of the Romantic period. Now, it is very important to remember that German Romanticism goes all the way up until the beginning of the 20th century. It started earlier and lasted longer than anywhere else in Europe. At this time, in England, for much of the 19th century, the English are not romantics, they are realists. So they are writing realist narratives, and you actually find very few romantic novels. Most of the romantic period is poetry rather than novels. But in Germany, you have novels, you have poetry, you have music, you have painting, you have so much romantic stuff. Mahler is a romantic composer. Wagner, Liszt, all of those, Brahms, Schubert, Schumann, all of them are all romantic composers. So it lasts a very, very, very long time in Germany. And what it translates into is not realism, like happened in England, it translates to expressionism. And so that is really interesting, because this book, this little book, sits on the edges. It is on one side, it is on the edge of the tail end of Romanticism, but it is also on the it is also playing with what is becoming the cutting edge, the avant-garde, what will become German Expressionism. German Expressionism is different to Romanticism. Of course, Romanticism starts all the way back with Schiller and Goethe, and of course the Germans do everything more intense than the English. The Shelley goes and talks about being in black and talks about being dead, and Goethe actually does it. Goethe goes and badly with borrow pistols. I mean, I don't know how you do that badly, but he did. He did. Faust sells his soul. You know, Byron might be mad, bad, dangerous, don't know, but Faust sells his soul. Okay, Byron stooped his sister. So I think that he probably, he can probably claim a thing for being dangerous. Don't stoop your sister. Anyway. This is sitting on the edges of both of those. So one side Romanticism, the other side Expressionism. And you can see how this works. Her ladyship has talked about Gothic novels always having a sort of a Scooby-Doo ending, where the supernatural always has a down-to-earth explanation. The supernatural is always someone is scheming and trying to steal something, using the idea of ghost as a cover for their theft or whatever else. But in this one, it play with the idea of using the supernatural as a cover. But what it is covering, it's certainly not just somebody stealing something or hiding someone's in the attic. It is wow. And that is where the Expressionism come in. But Romanticism is about a rejection of modernity, an idea of idyllic pastoral life, moving away from the modern city to a previous era where it was nice, it was Arcadia, it was beautiful, a bucolic life. But German Expressionism is interested in things that are more grown up in some ways, or more relatable to 21st century audience. Although the romantic ideal is very nice, on the whole it feels a little naive. You cannot just up and live and have a bucolic open life, because life follows you. It is not possible to live like Marie Antoinette in her little village. It is not all baby lambs and primroses. So German Expressionism also, it take the supernatural that is happening, and it showed that this old concept of the Gothic horror, what is horror for the old stories, is like the supernatural. It is based in religion. It is remembering that the German states was this epicenter for much of the most violent witch trials in the medieval and early modern world. So the idea of the devil stalks the earth matters when you live in a society where religion is preeminent. But by the early 20th century, religion no longer has that central role. The idea of the devil possess you is the most horrifying idea, is not really the most horrifying idea to the people of the 20th century. It makes the devout religiosity of Monsieur Giacomo in this very almost farcical. It's like you believe this was you are sucked in by all his talk of God and your beliefs that he is a devil. And this provides the character's cover for altogether darker desires and acts. I would say that they are almost Grecian, ancient Greece. There is a reason why the stories of ancient Greece echo. Why are we still horrified by Oedipus? Nobody wants to sleep with their mother, accidentally or otherwise. It is the Greeks tapped into these horrifying taboo, the parent murder, the cannibalism, the marrying your mother. Really horrible things. And that is what Expressionism starts to tap into, which is why German Expressionism feels so much modern. It talks about death, it talks about religion, it talks about sex, it talks about psychology. It is much more interesting on the interior and understanding that the truly horrible is often in our interior desires that we suppress for the sake of society and our own sanity, that they are taboo for a reason. And so German Expressionism is willing to examine those things, and those are the things that make truly more modern horror. Modern horror is interesting in that because it is, people will put religious stuff in modern horror just to get the audience reaction, to sort of get publicity. I mean, is after The Exorcist, is anyone really that? Not really. The Wicker Man. The Wicker Man work because it is unsettling, because it is just very unsettling. It's very undermining of the way things are. And honestly, I watched that and I think afterwards, the next morning, I hope the sacrifice of the policeman were for the villagers. So there you go. And this is why some of these things don't work on me. You wonder. A lot of our horror has to do with internal motivations, or it has to do with being devoured alive. Like aliens. We don't like the idea of becoming food, especially not alive. So vampires, aliens, they still have their visceral impact, especially vampires have a sexual quality to them, so that becomes, interesting. And this book is at the beginnings of this period. This is the reason that horror dates, because what we find horrific changes. It does change. This one is unsettling. The horror in it is not jump scare. It is not graphic. It is more the unsettling quality, the Wicker Man quality to it. So I would say, if you want a short little fun read, have a look at this. It is interesting. It is interesting seeing that shift between German Romanticism, which is the predominant late 18th, 19th century, into German Expressionism. If you like the idea of German Expressionism, have a look at film, Nosferatu, Murnau's Nosferatu, and the Cabinet of Dr. Calgary, about the German Expressionist film. So that would give you an idea. Honestly, so I want to hit Jonathan Harker with a brick in the face. When I watched Nosferatu, I watched him after Buster Keaton, and it just looked like mugging. I have to watch it again without watching Buster Keaton first. I wanted to hit him in the face with a brick. He annoyed me. That's me. I told you, weird. I'm not sure you want to take weird, always take weird suggestions of books for me. I like some weird stuff. If you do like this, I would highly suggest you do read this. I would say the ending in true Gothic style is not as supernatural as you would think. It is still a taboo. And it is certainly not a book for children, in spite of the fact that it has pictures in. So, that is the book for this week. And I will see you again another time with another book. Au revoir. If you would like to support this channel, come across to the Black Cockie Press website, www.blackcockiepress.com.au, where you will find books and other writing services to help with your writing.